The Islamic Republic of Iran has unveiled a new missile capable of reaching targets up to 800 miles away. RT correspondent Dan Cohen has this story.
Iranian officials celebrated the development of their new missile on the 40th anniversary of the Iranian Revolution.
We live in a world in which some rulers do not pay attention to the nation's rights, the nation's sovereignty, their votes, and are not committed to any agreement and international laws. They violate all of them, easily.
It's a surface-to-surface projectile capable of flying at low altitudes. It can be launched at a moment's notice and reaches distances up to 800 miles away. It's no surprise why Iran would want missiles that can reach such distances. Now, it has the capability to strike countries which have made clear their desire to see regime change in Iran, even by military force. It was just a few months back that Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu threatened to annihilate Iran during an appearance at the facility where Israel has built dozens of nuclear weapons. Here's what he said about the new missile.
I have a clear message to the tyrants in Tehran. We know what you are doing, and we know where you are doing it. We will continue to act against Iran with all tools at our disposal in order to ensure Israel's security and future.
Or how about Saudi Arabia? Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman called Iran's Ayatollah worse than Hitler, and he successfully lobbied the Trump administration to increase pressure on Iran. For its part, the Trump administration has done just that. First, Trump pulled out of the Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action, better known as the Iran deal, and now he's keeping troops across the border in Iraq to keep an eye on Iran.
You're keeping troops in Iraq because you want to be able to strike in Iran?
No, because I want to be able to watch Iran. All I want to do is be able to watch. We're going to keep watching, and we're going to keep seeing. And if there's trouble, if somebody's looking to do nuclear weapons or other things, we're going to know it before they do.
Now, some might point out that the Iran deal kept inspectors inside Iran and allowed them to keep a much closer eye on its nuclear energy program than American soldiers hundreds of miles away in Iraq ever could. But then again, maybe that's the point.
Hamid Salehi was just a teenager when Iraq invaded Iran in 1980. He joined the army at just 14 years old and spent 5 years as a frontline soldier. Injured multiple times, he would recover and head once more into the fray. But his war ended when a gas attack destroyed 70% of his lungs and impaired his vision.
Immediately after the revolution, when our army wasn't well prepared, we came under attack from Iraq. The Islamic Revolution.Yet Corps was too busy with internal conflicts, so as it happens in any other country, people volunteered to defend their nation against the aggressors.
It was a conflict that shattered the lives of millions of Iranians. Iran and Iraq are now the closest of allies, but the war taught Iranian leaders important lessons in national security that have influenced policy decisions ever since. The post-revolution government was shaky and caught off guard. 40 years later, military leaders want everyone to know it won't happen again. The anniversary of the Islamic Revolution kicked off with another display of military strength. Unveiled at an arms expo at Tehran's main mosque, the Hoveyzeh is reported to be Iran's latest surface-to-surface cruise missile. Iranian commanders say it has a range of more than 1,300 kilometers and is named after the city famous for resisting Iraqi forces during the war.
We live in a time when certain rulers, who have no regard for the rights of nations, ignore their commitment to treaties and international laws and walk all over them. In such a world, it is wise that we defend our national security by every means possible, despite all pressure of sanctions.
Iranians appear keen to boost public confidence in the military. Civilians here get a rare peek at Iran's arsenal and enemies a warning to keep their distance. In the 40 years since revolution, Iran has faced ongoing tensions with the United States, Israel, and several Arab neighbors, as well as taking on illegal drug cartels and armed groups on its eastern borders. ISIL and Iranian dissidents have also carried out attacks on Iranian soil, and the ballistic missiles program that Iran says is for self-defense has been widely condemned even by its European allies.
The level of Iran's defence capability has become a stabilising factor in the region. In many sectors, we rank in the top 5 or 10 in the world, and what is important is that all this progress creates stability and security in the region.
Iranian military might help drive ISIL out of Iraq, keep allies in power in Syria, and support Houthi fighters against the Saudi Emirati coalition in Yemen. Key military victories that appear to have taught Iran's leaders the best way to deal with friends and enemies is from a position of strength.